Hello everybody, this is Dr. Jeff Parker with Marriage Matters and hope you're doing well this evening. And it's good to see you, good to be a part of this ministry. And let me encourage you, if you would, like this, and then if you also would, share it. And then go to our YouTube channel and subscribe and be a part of that family as well. Well, the topic tonight is going to be quarantine moms, quarantine mothers. And you know, during this time, I believe, Mom, you have the greatest opportunity to share probably one of the greatest lessons you'll ever teach your child. Now, let me say, outside of their personal relationship with Jesus Christ, you have a golden opportunity, a window that is open right now that may never be open again. You know, right now, I understand, Mom, for all of us, in this COVID-19 epidemic, pandemic, you know, everything seems to be unfamiliar. You know, our personality, who we are, we like habit. We like routines. We like life to be somewhat predictable. And I would say probably for women, and especially you moms, there's a nesting instinct in you that likes that routine. And so when things are not, when they're out of sync and things begin to fall apart, then sometimes moms, you may be struggling. You know, we may say that we get tired of routine, we get tired of the same old thing, but deep down we find peace, we find comfort when we're in a ritual. You know, now quarantine and being quarantined may be a little bit of a mirror in your life right now. In other words, you and I being quarantined, we may be learning and discovering things about ourselves. You know, when I think about being quarantined, I think especially about you moms, I think about something that foreign missionaries will sometimes experience. You see, when you're on the mission field as a foreign missionary going to another country, a lot of times you go through what we term culture shock. Now, let me explain a little bit. For instance, Southern Baptist, the International Mission Board, they have an organization, or they have a place called the Missionary Learning Center. And when missionaries are getting ready to go overseas, they send them to the Missionary Learning Center, where for 7 weeks, the people that are employed and a part of the International Mission Board help them learn how to cope with culture shock. And culture shock is a real thing. I'm kind of looking at my notes, so kind of bear with me. I also have Sheila over here off to my side so she can help me as well. But when a missionary goes overseas, a lot of times you feel isolated. That's culture shock. Family, friends, things that are familiar. All of a sudden, everything that you are familiar with, that you depended on, all of a sudden it's not there anymore. And part of culture shock when you get in a foreign country is you're stuck with your immediate family. So there's a lot of similarity. You're in a new culture, nothing's familiar, you don't know the language, you don't know the customs, you can't even say hello. I mean, you're just struggling, really, in all honesty, as a new missionary on a foreign field, you're struggling just to survive because your world has been shaken, is disoriented. And that may be, Mom, where you are right now. Nothing looks right. It doesn't feel right. And in many ways, you start feeling helpless. You know, I would encourage you, I think during this time, to journal. And one of your first journals might be this question, you know, what do I miss? You know, what's some things that I miss? Because when you begin to make a list of the things that you miss right now while you're in the middle of this quarantine, it may reveal a lot about who you are. Now tonight I want to tell you 2 stories. And Mom, I want you to listen closely. Dad, you can listen too, because I think we're both in this together. But I want to tell you 2 stories. And when we were at the Missionary Learning Center, we had a sweet lady. Her name was Corella. And Corella periodically would leave Richmond, Virginia, would leave the Missionary Learning Center, and she would go out on the field in different parts of the world to see how the new missionaries were doing. So Corella tells a story. She said she went to Costa Rica. Now in Costa Rica, our particular mission organization sends families there who are going to be in Spanish-speaking countries. So they go to Costa Rica, where for a year they are in the process of learning the language and learning the culture and the customs, and also learning how to adjust. So Corella said she went to Costa Rica to visit two families fresh on the field in language. She was even listening to. She says that she walked in, she said, Okay.
All right, try now.
How about that? Can you hear us now? We're still trying to work through. We're doing Boxcast, and we're developing a new technology here. So, or trying to utilize a new technology. Can you hear me yet? Or are we getting any feedback?
Not yet.
I guess bottom line is
There's a 30-second delay, so I'm waiting for somebody.
I can tell Emily, my daughter, to call if all else fails. She supposedly listened. Anybody?
There's a delay, so hopefully in the
Okay,
next
well, let me see. Do I go back or do I continue to
I would say
ad lib?
I would say go back, just a couple of steps back, just to make
Okay.
sure.
Do you,
At this, let's see. Hold on, I'm waiting to see if anybody's gonna.
we may have to come back and FaceTime the old-fashioned
There
way.
is a delay of about 20 seconds. Let me know if you can.
Okay, well,
hear.
we just ran into a technical problem. Still working out the kinks. We have used a new technology, Boxcast.
Okay, now.
Are we working?
Yeah.
Are we on? Do I
Mhm.
go? Do I go back? You want me to go
I
back?
say kind of just start back after the story.
Let me go back then real quickly. Basically what I've been talking about to moms is when you're quarantined and you feel like you're in a place that is very unfamiliar, foreign to you. In a lot of ways, you're going through what missionaries go through. We call it culture shock, where a missionary is in a foreign field, in a new environment. They don't know the language, they don't know the culture, they don't know how to say hello, they don't know how to buy, do anything, don't know how to get around in the market. Their lives are very, and also foreign missionaries, when they go to a new field, they feel like they're a prisoner with their immediate family. Now, I went on to say that we had an individual, well, we go to the Missionary Learning Center, and I'm just kind of trying to backtrack and catch up.
Culture shock. Go for it.
But the Missionary Learning Center is where missionaries go for 7 weeks outside of Richmond to be trained and prepared in how to deal with culture shock. And we have a lady there, her name is Corella, really precious lady, who would periodically leave Richmond and go to different parts of the world to check on these new missionaries. And I may be repeating myself, but that's all right. Anyway, Corella tells about going to the Spanish-speaking language school in Costa Rica, where 2 new families had just been placed there. They had only been there for a short time. And Corella said when she went to this first home, she said when she walked up to it, it was dark, windows, the curtains were closed, windows were not open. It was just a dark environment. She said she walked to the door. This wife, this mother, new missionary comes to the door. She looks visibly depressed, visibly under major culture shock. She said, but as she looked around, nothing had been done in the house. The mother had not taken any ownership in the house. It was dark. It was dismal. The kids looked depressed. The husband was depressed. Nothing was cooking. She said, in fact, the home was not even clean. And she went on to make this statement. She said, this first home, this wife, this mom, rather than rising above the situation, had become a prisoner to her emotions. She had, rather than being a victor and having a positive attitude, she basically had given into her emotions. And because of that, her home reflected it. She then left that home and she went to a second home. And again, she walks up to the door. She says the windows are open, the curtains are open, this Spanish music is playing, and she walks up to the door. This woman comes to the door, smile on her face, greets her. Corella says as she goes into this home, she looks, and this wife, this mom, has gone to the local market, purchased local artwork, put it around on the walls. She was in there cooking a meal, and she laughed and said, I don't really understand or have any idea what I'm cooking. I'm trying to learn some Mexican dishes. And she said, it's all new to me. And she's just laughing, got a positive attitude. At the same time, there was Spanish music playing. And she looked at Corella and she kind of did her arms up. She said, I don't have any idea what I'm listening to, but I'm trying to learn the language. Corella said as she watched this wife and mom, as she sat there enveloped into this warm, loving atmosphere, Corella said, I knew she would make it. I knew this family would make it. She went on to make this statement. She said this mom picked up, and this mom was not only rising above the situation, she was lifting her husband, her entire family up. They all were reflecting her spirit, her attitude. Mom, you are critical. Let me say that again. You're critical. You know, on Facebook, there's these pictures or videos that shows a baby in a high chair, and different people will give a child a wedge of lemon. And you'll see this baby look at it for a moment, and then they do what they always do. They stick it in their mouth. And immediately they'll make faces, they'll grimace, and some of them will begin to cry. Now you may think this is elementary. You may think, well, I've heard that 1,000 times over. But the reality is, you remember the old statement? When somebody gives you lemons, what do you make out of it? You make lemonade. And in life, sometimes life is like that. Mom, one of the great opportunities that you have, and it's a narrow window that you have right now, is to teach your children outside of their relationship with Jesus Christ the most important lesson they will ever learn in life. When life gives you lemons, when you are quarantined, when you're in a pandemic, when everything seems to be going wrong in your life, kids, the only thing you can do is take those lemons and make lemonade. In other words, you take something that appears to be negative and you find something positive in it. You start speaking positive. You make the best out of the situation. You teach your children how to learn and to go through, to grow through an experience such as even this pandemic. Mom, let me ask you a question again. Does your home reflect how you feel right now? Does your home right now reflect how you feel, or does your home reflect how you want to feel? You may feel like right now, Mom, you've been failing, and you're right. Your grandmother probably didn't face what you face right now. These are hard times. And you may feel like as a mom, I've been kind of depressed. I've been kind of down. A lot of moms think it's kind of funny. They put on Facebook that they've been taking out all their frustrations on their children, making sly remarks about their kids, how they don't enjoy them, how they'll be glad when they're back at school. Imagine how that makes your kids feel. The reality is, Mom, you have the greatest opportunity you will ever have in your life right now. And number one, you can apologize to your children. If you feel like you've been depressed, down, you've not been encouraging, then maybe it's time to sit down with the kid and say, listen, kids, I want to tell you, I'm sorry. I want to say to you that I love you, and I want to enjoy this time we have together. And I'm sorry I've been kind of down and depressed and short. I don't want to be that way. Secondly, take action. Begin to incorporate some positive steps, whatever those steps may be. Whether you're out in the yard with the kids, whether you learn to play ball, whether you're making cookies, whatever you're doing, learn to enjoy your children because you don't have them very long. And I can tell you that. I've got 4 grown kids and I've got 16 grandkids, and even my oldest grandson's getting ready to be a teenager. They grow up fast. Take action. Do some positive things. Thirdly, share your goals with your children. Say, you know what Mom wants? I want to do better. And I want you to help me to do better. And these are the things I'm going to do to try to improve. Well, again, let me just say this. You have a great opportunity right now that you're never going to have again. Hey, this is soon going to be over with. Let me tell you that. This is soon going to be over with. Life's going to return to normal. This is a good, strong country. We're strong people. And the world and this nation, we will rebound. And if you're a Christian, let me tell you this. You've got a loving Heavenly Father who said He'll never leave you, never forsake you. If He allowed this in your life and in my life, it first went through His hand and by His permission. He's sovereign. It'll soon be over with. You'll look back at this one day and you will thank God that you made every opportunity to be everything you could possibly be as a wife and a mom. Mom, I want you to tell you I love you. I pray for you. I wish you only the best. So God bless you. I'll keep you in my prayers. If you need me, feel free to email me, Jeff Parker at ssbaptistchurch.com. Again, like this, share it. Hey, we'll work out these technical kinks. Okay, bear with us for a while. We're getting there. Love you. Take care. Bye-bye.